Evening, folks. We've been out making hay on that west pasture. Remember about 2 videos back, I think I showed you that we were cutting it. Well, here's where we're tedding it out. Got the tedder out, and we're really just kind of pounding it. It's the 4066R on it. You can see those beans, how damaged they are just to the left of my screen there. Boy, the rain has not been nice to us. It's just been really hard to make anything. And it's been hard to get this field dry, so we brought the tedder out and we're really kind of pounding it. One thing about this 10 acres compared to other fields that I have on my place that are, meandering and kind of wandering around, this 10 acres is not that way. It's just a nice big old rectangle, and I'm very blessed to have something that's a rectangle that you can just kind of autopilot on and get done. Of course, it's also blessed to, have one of your daughters have the ability to fly this drone and take this cool footage of teddering out the hay. So as we're tedding here, you can see that it's really knocking it apart. It's making it look like an even pile. This field actually had no rain on it, which is a blessing. It looks a little brown, and that's only because we've had some heavy dews. It's almost the end of August. Minnesota State Fair is in full swing. I've got one of my daughters down at it with one of her animals. And here we are trying to buck it out and get hay made. Been real blessed this week to have the farm hands on site yet. It's tricky when it gets to the end of August. Nowadays these, liberal institutions take all the kids away before Labor Day. And that really sucks for us farmers. But thankfully we've got a good family that doesn't start till after Labor Day, and that's been a real blessing. So they're on the farm here today, these kids, and they're helping us out. So we're getting it teddered up right away. Once the tedding is done, we're going to turn around, hook up those and Rossi rakes. We'll double rake it. It's not that heavy. It's lighter than you think. This is not a massive crop, unfortunately. Again, with the water, it's just kind of been choking things and making it hard to work with. But either way, it's what it is. So we're going to get these rakes here going and get them in the field and get this raking. Now, I'm going to put a left-hand rake in and then the center rake, so everything's going to be double raked, which is nice. Gives me less travel time with the baler, and the baler's the bigger hog when it comes to fuel, so to speak, being pulled by the 5090R. So this is the way to do it. You can take it from 18 or 19 rows literally down to 10 or 11, depending upon how the center row finishes out. So there's a nice shot there of the barns right behind it. But we're just getting it raked up. Owen, I think, is behind this one of my farm hands. He's taking the last little bit and kind of getting it all combined back together. The rakes ran really well this time. I think we only had one bolt on one that came loose on one tooth. Anytime your equipment holds up, it's a wonderful thing. The tedder's been holding up well, and of course the baler's been rock solid. But we're flying. We've got a limited amount of time. They tell us tonight there's going to be rain, and we're not going to let it get wet. Not if we can help it. So everybody's in their higher speeds. These 4066Rs are in their B drive because they got an A, B, C on their hydrostatics. So they're in B, and these kids, my daughter and this farmhand, are just, hate to say hauling butt, but they're really hauling. They're moving these tractors to get it done. And that's not a bad thing. We need to get it in. Basically an hour on the baling, and I've got this field and another one to do, so I've got about, probably close to 22 acres to get done today. And with there been limited time to get the dew off and having to use the tedder to do it, the rake's got to get their butt in gear so that I can be in here with the baler. But they're doing a good job. They're bouncing a little bit in the field. They're pushing the equipment a little bit, but we're getting it done. Set these rakes at about 400 RPMs out the butt and really get them going, which is what we needed to do. So as you can see, it's working good. We're getting it done. Now, while they're doing this, I've got the baler hooked up. I've already started the other field, and it's only a matter of time before I get in this field. So I think they finished this field about 4 o'clock by the time they got done raking it. For me, that means I've got about 3 hours of daylight before any heavy dew comes in, and I can get it going. So that was the next step. Get in here about 4:30 and make this hay as fast as I can. So here I am. I got the 5090R with the mega wide John Deere behind it, and popping out bales and getting this going. I think all said and done, I ended up 37 bales. So it's a good crop. I wish it was a little more, but it's what it is. You can see the adjacent field there looks all trimmed up behind the barns and stuff. That's because I just finished that before getting into this one. So I'm off making hay. They're dropping their rakes, and they're coming back in and picking up bales. And I've also got James back in the barn with my daughter Julia. Those two are putting round bales away. We can't leave anything out tonight. I don't really want it getting wet. I really wanted to make nice hay. So it was really a team effort. I got two farm hands, Paige, Caitlin were in the house making pickles and applesauce and processing tomatoes. I had James, the other farmhand, out on the rake, and like I said, out on the mini skid moving things in with my daughter Julia, and then Owen and Anna were out on the rakes. Being down one daughter for fair didn't stop us. We just got it done, folks, and that's the best way I can say on the farm. Everybody kind of did their part and get it done. My bride, she was all over the place. She was directing the farmhands where to move bales to. A couple of bales were just a tad damp, so they got set out a little differently, so we know which ones they were. She's still directing the afternoon chores and making sure the milking gets done. And then, of course, she's directing those two kids that were inside, processing, 25 jars of applesauce and half dozen jars of pickles and processing tomatoes. Oh, yeah, and they're making fruit leather, too. What a crazy afternoon it's been. But, some days that's the way it goes on the farm. I appreciate you watching. I hope you enjoyed us baling up and making hay today.